Good afternoon, my friends, and thank you for coming to join me for another shave. This is Monday. It's Monday afternoon. Had some missions to run this morning, and I got it all out of the way. Now it's shave time. Time to kick back, and we're kicking back with Stirling's Triumph, along with the matching aftershave. We're using one of my favorites now. It's been getting more and more favorite, the Stirling fan shaped badger, and we're bringing back a little good and a little bad. We're using, you probably will recognize this, it's an Assured El Cheapo del Grande $1 razor we used in a challenge earlier. Well, I had said to myself that I was going to try this thing again, but with a good blade, and I don't recall as I ever did. So I've got a Voskhod Russian blade in there, and we're going to see how this thing works out. But just in case, make sure that I don't carve myself up, I'm going to take preventative measures with my intergalactic space pre-shave cube, like applying a little Teflon before starting. Some use Williams. This has a hit of menthol in it, and I really like the way it does its thing. And the charcoal, so it's supposed to absorb the extra oils and maybe encourage the little sebums to do their thing, So I'll have that kind of an undercoat before I put on the lather. True to form, Triumph lathers wonderfully. That's always a wonderful constant. And I'm going to have, good grief, I'm going to have variables. I want to have more constants than variables so I can see how the variable reacts. If that made any sense whatsoever, you let me know. Yeah, it's a pretty hard puck. It's in a little bit smaller than average container. It doesn't seem to bother this brush any. It just has kind of formed into that little thing and loaded up real good. So we'll see how this goes. Drum roll, please. Please, no wagering. I may have gotten lucky because I also did a record shave as far as time, a timed shave with this very razor. I think I did it in under 4 minutes, 3 passes. And it does a pretty good job. It's a comfortable razor. I had adjusted the doors a little bit, kind of pried around in the guts so that the doors closed even. I know I've got 2 edges. Got today at home. Tomorrow, and then we're leaving Wednesday morning for Chicago, and we're going to take the Miata to Chicago. Now that it has a new clutch and it's been running a little better, the mechanic said he found a couple of loose grounds while he was fiddling around. He couldn't make it that they had a little trouble immediately with the fuel pump. And it turned out, in that case, it was a shaky ground that he was kind of fiddling around with when they first took it apart. But while he was doing that, he said he found a couple of other bad grounds, and he fixed them. And I don't know if it's just because I haven't driven the Miata much, or it's a lot spunkier than the Mercedes was. In any case, I'm cutting my carbon footprint by not using an old school diesel. And we're taking the little guy up to Chicago. I think that's the plan so far. Now that could change, because as a husband, I don't make plans. I'm not allowed. But being as we also don't have any offspring, nor much gear to take with us, it makes sense to take the smaller car. And it actually has fewer miles than my wife's car. She commutes back and forth to Columbus, which isn't really all that far away, but it's like 75 miles a day she drives it, so over the years since we bought that car, she's put some miles on it. And of course, Miata's been sitting in the garage or in the driveway or carport. It was in the barn for a while. We don't have the barn anymore. So it's not been getting many miles. For the trip and for the winter. It also has a fiberglass roof that I can put on there. I put the top down and stow it in its little, wherever it goes, whatever you call that depression back there. And then I put this top over the top. And it makes the car a lot quieter and quite a bit warmer in the wintertime, which is nice because I've only driven it a couple of times in the wintertime. It has a kind of a problem being a short wheelbase car, not a very big car, and it has a positive traction rear end, which means both wheels in the back want to spin in the same direction. Once they start spinning, you lose control, and it likes to do ground loops on snow and ice. So that makes it a little sporty in the wintertime to drive on ice or stuff like that. I don't anticipate any problems in Chicago. It's supposed to be in the 40s and 50s all weekend. So it may rain, but I don't think it's going to snow. And it's got new shoes, so even if it did, it's got good tires on it. So if I'm just careful, it won't be any trouble. Third pass, and I've not gotten any discomfort from this razor. The blades that came with this razor were certainly way subpar. Matter of fact, I had a couple of dented blades with this one. I had to go through the whole pack before I found a couple that were any good. When I did, they were reasonably sharp and they weren't too bad. I've had worse blades. I am going a little slower because I want to make sure that I don't make some Filet-O-Face patties in here, being as I don't have a safety cat handy. She's out in the hallway, wouldn't come in for some reason. So I guess she's ready to dial 911 if anything bad should happen. Just as equal or as good as I would expect from any other razor. Still waiting on my vector. I sent the man an email and he promised me, he says there should be no problem in getting it to me before Christmas. That's the last I've heard out of him, and I've been trying to hunt down any other messages. Dave from Kentucky gave me a little bit of insight, so I know he's still working on the problem. And like he had said in earlier emails, the only thing he has to make for the vectors is the base plates. I guess doing the rest of it, he wrecked the machine, or they wrecked the machine, and now they just got to finish up. So we'll see. No sting, tingle, whatever at all with the alum. Even on the spot that I've been whacking the top off of, which is really, really nice. This is all gonna draw back, and I'm gonna have a BBS shave. I want to take a break, clean up my mess, and I'll be right back.
From soup to nuts, Charlie Brown is cooking up a special treat for Thanksgiving, a fun feast. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time.
And welcome back. Thank you for waiting. Today's truly nice shave was brought to you in large part by Triumph from Stirling. We splashed on the aftershave, and it's just wonderful. I've got no sting at all. We used the Stirling, also the fan-shaped Badger. It's able leather, and we used the Assured razor today. El Cheapo Especial with the Foscad blade. I don't know how many shaves are on it. It was in another razor here in the cabinet, and I just popped that out of one and stuck it in here and told it to let her rip tater chip, and there he did. It just took everything away. Next shave will be Wednesday. We're leaving super early, so I may do an afternoon shave in Chicago, or you may have to wait until Thanksgiving morning, when all the women will be making sure that we stay out of the kitchen, because although I'm a better cook than my wife, my sister-in-law is very territorial of the kitchen, so I may have to be looking for something to do. So we'll probably do a video from Chicago, which will be neat. I think you guys will like that. Maybe I'll talk my brother into take me to Mraz. That would be very cool. He's way up in the northern part of Chicago, so it would be a pretty good trip to get down there. So I don't know. We'll have to see. And whether they're open on Thanksgiving is another story. But that's all we have for today. Thank you for coming to visit. I'm Major Rich on the Shaving Cadre. And as always, you're welcome to come visit us. And we will see you on our next shave. Bye-bye.